A warm welcome to all the listeners. Listen to the Blue Horse. Dr. C.K.N. is in conversation with Pooja. I'm sure you'll enjoy this session, and I'm sure it's going to be some food for your thought.
And we're back again. Hi, Mr. Blue Horse.
Hi.
In our very stressed, very fast-paced life, everybody is stressed. I mean, I don't see anybody who's just relaxing and who's always enjoying life. There is, one constant scenario which is on the rise, which is everybody's got some lifestyle disease or the other. One being the hypertension. I don't know if it's lifestyle disease or it's coming because of I don't know. What are your thoughts about hypertension and the continuous rise of cases on that?
You want to know about the variation of blood pressure?
Yeah.
Hypertension.
Yeah.
Okay. The history goes this way. In early 1870s, for a period of time, in some of the London hospitals, when patients have died, in modern science they always write clinically dead.
Okay.
And then due to cardiac arrest, due to so and so, or something like that, due to renal failure or what. So the death summary has to be written.
Yeah.
So for many cases, they were not able to write the death summary.
All right.
It was complex. So by 1875, this problem was higher and higher. So
then
all the doctors had a meeting on this. At that time, they were discussing. They said that we must, have an equipment to measure the blood pressure of the person. This will resolve all the problems. This was the outcome of that meeting. In 1979, this work started.
Okay.
Trying to, discover or create a machine which can measure the pressure of the blood running inside the body. So there are many people who have contributed it in Europe and America and all that. By 1895, they came out with the first machine which can only, test diastolic. Okay. But in 1905, they came out with that mercury pressure machine. They measure blood pressure for you. You would have seen that as a box-like stuff. They open it.
Yeah. And the mercury.
That one, the conventional one. It was found in 1905. Both systolic and diastolic, it can measure. So your 120 by 80, your 120 reading is called systolic. The 80 is called diastolic. You know what is the difference between systolic and diastolic?
Heartbeat.
Do you have any idea?
It's something to do with the heartbeat.
No. Do you have any idea? Do you know how to explain it?
No.
I'll tell you.
I wouldn't.
Okay, systolic means when the blood, when that lub goes on, no?
Yeah.
When that pumps lub, when the blood is, going faster, just pumped, when that gap between that one pump to another is diastolic. At that time, the pressure comes down, no? So as the blood is pushed and it takes another few seconds to push, the pushing time is systolic, the gap is diastolic when the pressure comes down. So when they came out with this machine in 1905, they basically checking this machine on many people, they found only all normal people were having 120 by 80.
Okay.
Or 80 by 120, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
So they generally came to a conclusion that 80-120 is
Normal range.
normal blood pressure. Anything lower than this is lower blood pressure, higher than this is hypertension or higher blood pressure. So this is how they understood at that point of time when this machine came in. Then slowly as the years went by, people are not having much idea about because the biochemistry itself started only in 1930 onwards. So anything beyond 80-120 was called hypertensive part of the human. Blood pressure, higher blood pressure. So they were trying to find medicines for it. So the pressure is what, The pressure is the blood running inside your tubes, right?
Yeah.
What is the pressure in which it's running? So they found medicines to expand the blood vessels, make it bigger with a chemical.
Okay.
So the pressure comes down. So like this it went on. I'm just giving it to you in a nutshell, okay? Ever since 1930, the biochemistry started. Because of this machine. Before this machine, there was nothing called blood pressure.
Okay.
There was no medicine for blood pressure. And there was nothing called hypertension at that time. Because we don't have the machine to measure, right? Now you have the machine to measure. So this abnormality or disease was born because of the birth of the machine. From 1970 onwards, the overall biochemistry research and all picked up a lot of momentum. functionality of human physiology. Everything picked up momentum. So in 1985, there was a group. It is there in the net. I don't want to tell the names.
Okay.
They got into a research. The understanding of the modern medical science on hypertension is correct or not. They made the research. This is a very interesting research, which got completed in 1992. You know what they found? They found our understanding was hypertension was wrong.
Okay. But we still maintain that standards, don't we?
1 minute, I'm coming to that story now. They found, what they found in that research, I'll give it to you in a nutshell. Every blood tube, irrespective of the size, there are various sizes of blood tubes, right? According to the area. Like the arteries are big near the heart.
Yeah.
As it comes down the hand and all, it becomes smaller. Capillaries are much smaller. Capillaries are the 1/16th of the human hair, the thinnest blood vessels inside the body. So all these tubes, irrespective of their size, the diameter, every blood vessel has got 3 layers.
Okay.
The outer, middle and the inner. Inner is a muscular layer. Whenever the oxygenation is required to every cell, which the RBC hemoglobin goes and gives, right? So whenever there's an oxygenation not enough for the particular area of the body, there's a mechanism inside which shrinks the pipe, make it smaller, allowing the blood to move more. Where 1 liter can go in within a period of time, 1.5 liters goes in.
Okay.
To satisfy the oxygen requirement. You got the point?
Alright.
Otherwise the cell function is going to get disturbed. At that point of time, you're going to measure your blood pressure will be on the higher side.
Higher.
Once the situation is normal, once the situation is normalized, oxygenation is met out, the mechanism releases itself.
Right.
It is a mechanism by itself, by the body function. But we have wrongly understood. You got the point?
So they just take it in a resting phase, right? When nothing is agitated.
Yeah. So by giving these medications, you are not allowing the system to work. That means when there is more oxygenation is required to an area where it is not getting furnished, supplied,
That's dangerous.
you are not allowing the system to go because you are trying to control the pressure. Not allowing by giving all kinds of medication, not allowing the system of your body to shrink the blood vessels. Then the question was asked to these people. We understand your research, but when the hypertension is on the higher side, we fall into stroke. What are you going to answer for that? For that, what they have answered, they said, no, the stroke is not coming because of hypertension. The stroke is coming because of your medicine.
Oh.
They asked how? They said, see, the blood vessels are trying to shrink to make the flow more to satisfy the oxygenation need to certain areas of body. You are not allowing that. You are giving a medicine which can work a liver-based drug for 24 hours. This chemistry, this chemical induced in you is not going to shrink the blood vessels, right? When it is required. You're not allowing the mechanism to work. When such thing happens in the brain, the blood vessels, they become angry. They try to shrink. The chemical try to not allow to shrink. They try and more because brain. They try and more. These people are blocking this kind of medicine.
More pressure.
And they take, again they will do more, they close. So the blood supply itself stops in certain areas of the brain.
Ouch.
For a split of a second or half a second or 1 second. Again they open. By the time the stroke happens.
Then
So they explained it because of the medicine.
Alright.
But then unfortunately at that time, in 1992-93, the amount of blood pressure medicine sold all over the world was very high.
Okay.
So they put this research under the carpet.
What? I mean, we still get prescribed.
Yeah. Okay. Now normal hypertension is there, See, hypertension is one thing which is a fluctuating part of the human body. See, when you are cycling up the hill for a few kilometers, where will your hypertension will go 200 by 300? So much of energy is required, so much of blood flow is required for you to,
Do that.
press the pedal and take the cycle up the hill for a few kilometers. You'll be sweating, your blood pressure will be at the peak, nothing will happen to you. So when you're exercising, your blood pressure will be high, your pulse rate, everything will be high. When you're emotionally disturbed, there are a lot of fluctuation in your blood pressure. When you get scared, what happens?
Adrenaline.
Your blood pressure will go haywire. So these are all the stuff. You have, white coat hypertension.
What is that?
When some task is given to you in your office and you are not completing it, now you are supposed to report to your management today at 11 o'clock. By the time you start from your work at home to your work, your BP starts.
Yeah.
What am I going to, how am I going to face? What am I going to answer? No, all that kind of thing. When the time 11 o'clock comes, you are really jittery, your BP is on the high side.
Yeah.
Because you're going to meet your boss and you're going to say, I failed, I am not completed, I need another 2 days. You're tensed up. Or when you go to a doctor for a particular ailment, when the doctor, asks you a number of questions and then he writes a scan. I think we need to take a scan, looks like the problem is serious. You get scared.
Yeah.
Your hypertension is going to really go up. Right? It depends on the situation, depends on the problems, depends on the situations that you face. Your BP is always, varying. So how do we classify a person? You have resistive hypertension and all that, when all types of medicines are given to you over a span of time. You have developed resistance to all the medicine.
Oh.
Now no medicine is available to give you. Okay. Now what happens if I am a hypertension guy? I come at the age of 28 and the doctors will probe me for some time, monitor me for some time and classify me, yes, you are on the hypertension patient. Then they start giving me one set of medicine. After 2 years I get used to it. My BP again goes haywire because the medicines are not working. So I give another combination.
Oh.
Okay, alpha blockers, beta blockers, there are many things are there, alpha agonists and all that. Now, like this, 20-25 years, they have given me all the medicines possible. And now none of the medicine is working on me. So what am I going to do?
What?
So it's called resistance hypertension. No medicine is available now for me. Medicines are there but it doesn't work.
No effect.
So more of the medicines of these hypertensions you take, it has terrific impact on your nephron cells.
Yeah, kidney.
That's a separate subject altogether. We are not going to go into that. Then a healthy part of a human, the blood vessels irrespective of the size, should remain flexible. By taking these hypertensive medication over a span of 15-20 years, 25-30 years, your blood vessels become rigid.
But many of them are
They loses their flexibility. And that is not good for you. Right?
Okay.
There is a component called rutin, with a molecule called rutin, RUTIN. It's highly important component for making your blood vessel flexible. They are trying to equate that by synthesizing it. They are not in a position to do it now.
Okay.
Now you have these dialysis patients.
Yeah.
They go through dialysis machine.
Yeah.
Their blood goes into the machine, get your urea creatine cleared and come back into your body. So it's called interdialytic hypertension. Suppose you're going to have your BP medicine every day at 10 o'clock in the morning. And if you're going to go to your dialysis at 11 o'clock, what's going to happen to my medicine in the blood when my blood goes through the machine?
Transfusion.
Right?
Goes away, right?
So these guys, when they go for dialysis and come back, sometimes their blood pressure go haywire. All kinds of confusion is there. However, the medical world has made huge money out of these hypertensive medicines. And they're continuing to do so.
Yeah, it gets prescribed.
Without understanding the basic concept. How the ancients have looked at it. It's beautiful. Where exactly and what is the exact. So the cause of the problem called hypertensiveness is unknown. But the cause of this higher blood pressure hypertensiveness is clearly being defined in the ancient science, in Tamil science. So you have the ionized protein called hemoglobin, which is a part of your RBC, which has the capacity to, absorb oxygen that is through the lung, retain it with itself to go and deliver to all parts of the body, right? Say, for example, every hemoglobin has a certain capacity. For example, you have a 10-ton lorry, 10,000 kilos of materials can be loaded, but you have only 5 tons of material. So the half the lorry goes empty, right? Like that, when the hemoglobin loses its capacity, say it can carry 10 points, now it will carry only 4 points. It's not able to absorb. So then it becomes you're going to have shortfall of oxygen to the body, right? Because the hemoglobins are not carrying oxygen to their full capacity. This was found by the ancient science.
But why did that happen then?
That happens because of your abnormality inside the body, because the hemoglobin is weak.
Okay.
Now, how to then strengthen this hemoglobin so that we can solve the hypertension part of it? Simple. Those black grapes with seeds, what they use in juice shops and all that? Our traditional grapes. Paneer Traksha. The dried one of them.
Dried ones? Not the...
That grape, dried one.
Okay.
That traditional grapes of South India, dried one. When you take it and the resins, the black resins it's called. When you take and bite, you can even feel the seeds inside. Not the other one which they use for kheer and all that stuff.
Got it.
They are seedless grapes in Nasik and Ozar, those sides, and Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and all that. Soaked in milk and dried in sun. This one is our traditional grapes with the seeds dried in the sun. You take 1 liter of water, put 70 number of these grapes
70.
in the evening, 70. Boil it down to 200 ml. Takes more than half an hour. Nothing else you add. You only take 1 liter of water, put 70. Bring it down when it comes to 200 ml, reduce to 200 ml. All grapes will be, drunk water and be big. Almost most of them. Some of them will be broken. So you break everything with a spoon. Only the skin will be there. Filter it with a separate filter. 200 ml and keep it aside. Don't add sugar or anything. Only 70 grapes and 1 liter of water, reduce to 200 ml. As you go to sleep, it will be very nice to drink. Drink and go to sleep. You do this for 3 days. It will immediately enhance your hemoglobin to their full capacity.
Really?
You will not have hypertension whatsoever. 72 hours, 3 intake, you can see your blood pressure reading exactly 80 by 120. If you are hypersensitive patients having medicines, have it for 21 days, continuous, this grey boiled water, the way I said. And then after that, continue for 3 days in a row in a week.
Wow.
4 days you don't take it. You can live without the medicines.
Does this also work for anemia? Because you're talking about
Anemia, it will work if you can take it over a span of 90 days.
Wow.
Over a span of 90 days. The only thing is that this exercise, if you are having common cold, it will increase your cold.
Oh.
That is the disadvantage of whatever side effect you call it. But this is only black grape resins, that's all. There is no chemical here, right? As
Yeah.
long as there is no chemical, you can have anything you want.
Yeah.
So the hypertension part of it is, if you're going to take long years of medicine, it affects your kidney and you
Yeah.
get into CKD problems, the chronic kidney diseases, for which again you have no medicines. You get into all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you see the pharmacological, chemicals used to make various types of hypertensive medicines, they have their own side effects. Okay. They can even damage your renal.
Yeah.
Over a span of time, sometimes it can become fatal. And it has terrific impact over your liver. There are people who have taken medicines over a span of 25-30 years of hypertensive medicines, have lost their liver.
Ouch. Directly linked, is it?
Yeah, because they are all liver-based medicines. They destroy the liver. In the end, you land up in a situation where you have to transplant your liver. All these kind of major side effects are there when you take the hypertensive medicines from the field of pharmacology over a span of 15-20 years or 25-30 years. You really get into trouble. But there's a simple way to solve your problem. I wish this, audio is heard by many people.
Yeah.
And then they can benefit themselves. You don't need to go to any doctor. You cure yourself at home. Try to live. The always glorious part of a human life is to stay away from any kind of medication.
Medicine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blue Horse. Very relatively simple solution for a hypertensive condition. Give it a try and see if it works for you. If it works, it's absolutely harmless and actually painless when you look at it. We see you at the next session. That was very insightful. Thank you, Mr. Blue Horse.